Hey, it's Marty Boardman with Fix and Flip Hub, and in this video I'm going to explain to you how to buy a house in foreclosure before the auction. Now I'm going to let you in on a little secret that most professional investors, especially investors who are into buying pre-foreclosures and houses at the auction, don't want you to know. And that is the banks, these foreclosing banks, they do not want to foreclose on the homeowner. They do not. And every now and then when I'm talking to a homeowner in foreclosure, they'll even say something silly to me like, you know, the bank just wants my house. I mean, and I don't try to argue with them, of course, but the truth is the banks do not want these houses, and they do not want to foreclose on people who are in foreclosure or behind on their mortgage. They do not want to do that. It makes them look very bad. It makes them look very bad to the general public. It makes them look very bad to bank regulators, and it makes them look very bad to their own shareholders because it means that they made a bad loan. They loaned money to somebody who couldn't pay it back. So the banks absolutely do not want to foreclose on someone. So that works in your favor if you are an investor who is buying pre-foreclosures. If you're trying to buy a house in foreclosure before the auction, you can use this to your advantage. And here's how this works. Here's how I like to do it. You see, when a homeowner first goes into foreclosure, when they're first notified they're in foreclosure, they are told or given an auction date, and it's usually 30 to 90 days in the future, and that typically isn't soon enough to create a lot of urgency with the homeowner in foreclosure. They look at it and say, well, I've got 3 weeks, I've got a month, or I've got 3 months to get this problem solved. So there's not a lot of urgency, and it's a little more difficult to put a deal together with a homeowner in foreclosure when they have a lot of time to get things sorted out. At least they think they do in their head. So what I like to do is I like to wait until anywhere between a week and 24 hours prior to the auction taking place to approach a homeowner in foreclosure about buying their house, because now they have to do something, right? They have to take some kind of action. And I don't have a lot of competition at this phase because, let's face it, the big iBuyers, the mega wholesalers, and most investors have no idea how to put a deal together with a homeowner in foreclosure a week or an hour or minutes before the auction. And this is something I've done hundreds of times over and over again. So it's absolutely possible because you know that the bank does not want to foreclose. You just have to have all of the paperwork and the process down yourself so that you can find the homeowner and get them to agree to put that deal together. So how does that work? Well, you have to number one, have a homeowner who's about to lose their house to auction. Number two, you've got to get a contract with them, and then you got to get the information from them that you need to give the bank so they can help you get the information, the payoff, and all of those things together so they can stop the sale and you can buy the property before the auction. And again, these are the very best deals that I've ever done, the most profitable deals I've ever done. They're what I call a last minute foreclosure buying, or it's a last minute foreclosure buying strategy. And it can be a little nerve-wracking, but it also can be very profitable. And trust me, this happens a lot more often than you think because the homeowner in foreclosure is typically burying their head in the sand and in complete denial. And it usually takes up until a couple of days prior to the auction for them to realize they've got to sell. And if you're there at their doorstep and you're their only option, guess what? You're going to be able to make that deal. Now, I explain in much more detail how this process works, how to get the forms you need, the contracts, and the other forms that the bank's going to make you send them to put a deal like this together in my new book, Foreclosure Secrets, How I Built a Seven-Figure Business Flipping Houses Other Investors Are Too Afraid to Buy. I go through this whole last-minute approach, and again, I give you in the book the contract that you need to have, and the forms you need to have to give the bank so you can put this deal together and get the information you need from them, and what you need to get the auction stopped so you can close that last minute deal with that homeowner in foreclosure. So if you want to get a free copy of this book, either click on the link in the video description if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook, click on the post itself or in the comments, or you can just go to foreclosuresecrets.net, get a free copy of the book. I just ask you to pay $9.95 for shipping. So again, I hope you found this video helpful. I'm Marty Boardman with Fix and Flip Hub. Thanks for watching.